You okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Hey, I'm just trying to. I was like, oh, I'm so ready, and then I turned my phone. I was like, oh yeah, I haven't got Zoom on my phone.
Shit. Sorry.
I haven't got my microphone, so I was like doing all that. Then it's like, oh, you know what? I've got some time. I want to do some tapping. So I do a bit of tapping. It's just literally, I've literally just finished doing some tapping, and I'm like, I just before we continue, can we just talk about that wallpaper? It's amazing.
Yeah, it's actually funny because I had everything set up in my bedroom with like microphone and stuff, and then Mike was like, my hubby was saying to me, "Oh, they're drilling." I was like, "Fantastic, just what we need."
Perfect. Great time. Thank you.
So then I was like, "Fuck!" So I
Uh,
took everything out. I was like, "Okay, abandon microphone, abandon that. Let's."
this has to be the new podcast space now. It looks wicked.
Yeah, it's an accidental, but yeah, it's fine.
It just screams your name, so
Yeah, it's cool. It's meant to happen, I suppose. Uh,
yeah.
how was your morning?
My morning. So what did I do? So I've got a new routine where, well, I always have my mindful morning. So what I've started to do, added into that practice, some breath work. I'm really, really like loving breath work at the minute. So first thing I do, and I've just done my podcast about morning rituals.
Yes.
So what I've been doing since I wake up is like, the alarm goes off, jump out of bed, have water, yes, water, no coffee. I do have coffee, stay with me. And then I breath work, I do some breath work. So this morning I was doing the box breath, which I posted about, which is fantastic to get back in the zone, back in the moment, to regulate your breathing, your mindfulness, all the things, right? So I do that, and then I do some tapping to set myself up to have a fabulous day. And the second thing I did was like I'm going from sad bitch to bad bitch. So I love doing that. So I did that this morning, and then I had a bit of a snack. And I'm obsessed with ginger tea. I love ginger tea. I think, and I always say to pod dancers in the studio, have ginger tea or fix everything, like your joints, your sore hat, literally everything. It's like an old Indian. But honestly, I love ginger tea. So I have ginger tea in the morning, and then I went over to the gym, smashed out an amazing workout, or listened to my podcast and stuff, getting in a vibe. And yeah, you know what? I was like, I don't really want to go. It's raining, rah, all the things. I got in the car and I do the magical morning practice. So I was like, do my gratitude in the car. And by the time I got there, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm hyped. I'm so grateful I'm here. I'm grateful I'm sat in my car. It's really warm. I'm grateful I've got my new Stanley Cup. I'm grateful that I've got a cute outfit. And I'm grateful I've got the time to go to a fabulous gym right by my house. You know what I mean? So I kind of reframed it all. And so, like, I think just because you wake up one way, it doesn't set the tone for your entire day, does it?
You know what's really interesting? I was talking to someone about this.
Yeah.
So because you wake up and like when you're dreaming, you're in your subconscious,
Yeah.
right? So sometimes what I find is like I might have like a dream that's a bit weird or like I don't know, like something's going on in my subconscious. And then I'll wake up and then that can kind of continue. But what I've had to do recently is be like no more subconscious. We're in the waking world now. Let's choose our mood and like be more intentional. So like I
That's
always
so
do, like
powerful, right?
yeah, choosing like
I can
okay,
choose food, but
let's
people are like,
yeah.
some people are like, what? You can choose your mood? Like, yeah.
Can I think to an extent, obviously, if you're going through a really shit time, it's hard, isn't it? But harder. But I don't think it's impossible. It's mainly just
You reminded me actually, and this is linking me on to how we come onto the book club, which is why we're here today, right? What was I gonna say? So yeah, like life is challenging. I'm going like there's all the things going on, and I bumped into a friend and we were like, talking to her. Goes, oh yeah, this is what's happening in my life at the moment, and I said like today, for example, I got up to my practice. I trained, I recorded content, I ran my business, and then I did loads of mindfulness, breathwork, visualizing, gratitude, all the things,
yeah.
self-care, beauty. And she was like, "Can I just say something?" She says, I'm so proud of you." I was like, "What?" It's because you're doing so, because you're going through loads at the moment and you're still doing all of that. You're still doing self-care. You're still doing breathwork. I'm really proud of you. You're amazing. And I stopped. I was like, you know what? I didn't even think. Yeah, I'm just doing it right. And I
Mm.
was like, yeah. Look, so what I've been doing this week, I've been saying to myself, like, the things that you just don't want to do. Like, for example, for me, emptying the washing machine. And I was like, I'm so proud of you. Putting the clothes back on the actual hanger.
Yeah.
So proud of you. Cleaning the shower, proud of you. Or just getting up and tapping and doing whatever. Like, I'm really proud of you. Like, I put in my community chat, I left a voice note. I was like, if anyone told you today, girl, I'm proud of you. Because we just do stuff, right? And then my friend was like, I was telling her about it, the stuff that I'm going through. She's like, have you heard of Mel Robbins? I was like, oh, yeah, of course. She's like, you need to read the Let Them book. So I was like, okay. Downloaded it, obsessed. And then I spoke to you, guess what I'm reading? You were like, I'm reading that too. I was like, we have to talk about this because it's so, and it's the only book, literally, I finished reading it last week. And then today, it was like yesterday, I'm rereading, listening to it again because it was so amazing. And things come in, as you know, things come into your life exactly when you need them, right?
Yeah, it's not, there's no coincidence, is there?
I always say there's no fucking coincidence, bitch. It's like everything happens for a reason. We're like, we're here to have this experience like in these bodies. Like there's no fucking coincidence, right?
So the thing with the let them theory that helped me the most is just letting other people do what they're going to do.
Yeah. Well, before we get into that, just because we're going to invite the readers for this book club thing, like just let them know. So the Let Them Theory is like a book by Mel Robbins, who's like an American speaker. People might know her, they might not. And she's like a motivational speaker, I think, right? And she has her own podcast too, which I've been listening to. And the podcast is pretty good, actually. And the Let Them Theory is not her theory, but it's a book she wrote about it and her experience. I think she wrote it with her daughter, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's what she was
Yeah,
saying.
and the simplicity of it is, if you want to go ahead and let them know, is what.
Yeah, so the simplicity of it is you let other people do what they're going to do. And then yeah, I know.
Yeah,
And
I was like, what? Like, we know this, I know this, I hear this. But when she was like, I've read so many quotes down on this one. She was like, people are going to say what they want to say. People are going to do what they want to do. People are going to have an opinion about you. You know, they're going to be your partner, your friends, your family, people on the internet you don't even know. They're
then,
all going to do these things, right? And you have to just let them.
yeah.
And I just took a massive, deep breath. I was like, that is so refreshing because it's so cheap. And like, she was saying to me, like, as soon as you relinquish trying to control the outcome of other people's actions and opinions, you can let them, you know what I mean? And when you let them, there's another important part. So I'll stop speaking. You go.
Totally. No, I know. I think the thing that helped me is so when you let other people do or behave how they're going to behave, do what they're going to do, behave how they're going to behave, we don't have control over that. And so a lot of the time I find myself, or in the past, I have found myself like clinging on to people, like trying to control what they're doing or saying or trying
Yeah.
to change their behavior,
Yeah.
those kind of things, which is just like a waste of energy. And slowly I've been like just accepting people as they are,
Yeah.
or if they're behaving in a way that is not aligned with who I am, just sort of letting them go.
Yeah. Of
Um,
course. Yeah.
and you get your energy back. You get all this energy back because you're not putting energy into like this black hole.
Yeah. I
Someone, yeah,
I always say, when I'm doing my manifestation or affirmation or gratitude, I'm saying I'm lovingly letting go of anything when anyone is, not my high purpose of serving me, you know what I mean, and vice versa, right? And actually, when I looked at let them, I was like, well, let them kind of sounds like a bit like just let them do whatever the hell they want. That's how is that being in control, right? And then I think something was like, what did I write down? It was like by saying let them, you make space for yourself and trust your decisions, right? And then it also reinforces your boundaries without guilt and confrontation. And it doesn't mean being passive; it means recognizing what's within your power. And I was like, yes,
yeah. There's a difference, isn't there? So there's a difference between letting people walk all over you,
yeah,
and that's not what you're saying. And you're also not being like, fuck those people. That's also
yeah,
not like, it's more like those people are going to be doing what they're doing. They behave in their way. And like the other thing in the book that was good is that she talks about trying to motivate someone to change.
gosh, yeah. We've all done this, right? Yeah.
Being like, I think it's really easy just to get frustrated with someone in your life. Can be partner, can be family member. Just be
Right.
like,
When you
annoyed.
care about people, you do that, right? And then, but then the key part of the book was actually, are you helping them? Are you? Because actually, I think they let them. The theory with that was, you can't change them, but you can lead by example. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
with my hubby, it's sort of worked a bit like that. I find the more I push him, the more he pushes back.
Of course,
Um,
like, because no one wants to be told what to do, right? No one does.
well, also, I feel like it just, she was saying there's science behind it. As soon as someone tells you what to do, you want to be like, no. It's just like a scientific way your
Yeah.
brain works,
You
right?
want to reach your boundaries, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's something about like, yeah, influencing someone. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
want to eat more healthy. I'm going to eat more healthy.
That's
Watch
right.
me eating healthy. Yum, yum, yum. The food is so nice and so on, right? It's like that kind of thing.
Well, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's what I found really cool is just not trying to change people.
Yeah, totally. And I think, and I was like, I'm arguing about which podcast I put this on with my poll one or my husband. And I was up on a link on all of them. And I was thinking about taking this back to poll where, we're constantly trying to like motivate our students and motivate ourselves in training and things like that. And actually, you can allow them to let them feel all those feelings, but show them the ways too. And I kind of in the classroom sometimes, but okay, I'm rubbish, I'm shit, I'm never going to get this. So how about instead we could be like, well, I haven't got this yet, or everything. Last time we were talking about someone did a move and stuff. We talked, oh, because finally after 3 years, and someone else is still my nemesis. I said, well, every single move has its own journey, its own time frame, doesn't it? And like it doesn't really matter if it's 3 years, 10 years, or whatever. You get to decide what to do, right?
Yeah. And I think it just with pole related stuff, it's some moves just like some people just aren't for you. Some moves just maybe aren't like your fave, and it's okay.
It's something take more time, right? And if it's important to you and you want it as your goal, write it down, make a plan, let's get to it. You know what I mean? And so like, oh, that's an nemesis. It's kind of like I'm not going to do it ever again, or or if it's simply like that isn't for me. That's cool too, right? But if it's something that you really kind of want to do, I sometimes feel like you feel so passionately upset about it that obviously you do want to do it. Then let's make a plan, let's show up and allow the process. Because and I always come back to my first experience in the podcast room where I couldn't even touch my knees, and then I thought, you know what? I've got work to do, and I made this change, and I still do it every day now. This is my journey. I'm practicing my flexibility, and it's amazing. And I think, and I say, well, getting the thing, but that's a manifestation of your goal or a pole move. For me, like the journey of becoming like who I was then to now, just by trying to show up and do a flexibility class has been phenomenal. That's become my career. You know what I mean? Had
Yeah.
I walked banged out a jade split and a rainbow, and then yeah, I'm gonna cancel my membership now. Thank you very much. You know.
It's it makes you a better person, doesn't it? Because you're
Yeah.
showing up, working hard, and then every time proving to yourself that you're consistent, and there's something amazing about that, isn't there?
Yeah, totally. And I like probably you, me, and people I speak, especially students and friends, what have you, who'll say, polls made me so confident, it's made me liberated, maybe. Well, you didn't get it in one class. This is what's happening over time, isn't it? Because I didn't feel liberated in my first class. I felt like really sore and like, what the hell am I doing here? You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. What?
Yeah, it comes with practice and time, and you become the person like. And I think the same with like with a pole move or a dream that you have or a goal that you have, right? It's like doing the thing. Like for example, I taken on loads of European work this year, so I had to get some like really adult, boring things sorted out, tax stuff for Europe, like 'cause UK's not in the EU now. So I had to go to London to the embassy to speak in another language. So I've been practicing to do it on my own. I did it. I was really nervous, and I did it. And I got the documentation through, and I felt really proud. I thought, wow, you did a really scary thing and you did like a really official grown-up adult thing and you did it and that's part of the journey. And like getting the actual papers or whatever, I need that. But the whole wow, I did this, it felt so good. You know what I mean? I think that's what we're talking about is actually it's the journey to becoming to who you're meant to be, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think you need as much energy as possible to do that, and that's why I think the let them theory is so good.
Because I'm like, because I was thinking, okay, they're not going to understand me because it's not my first language. Like, okay, well, let them. And I can explain, speak slowly, and they're going to be patient. If they're not, let them. And I can still do what I need to do. You know what I mean? And there's so many things. Oh, the train might be late, or let the train be late. Oh, just get the next one, or whatever. There's so many things, isn't there? You know.
Yeah, I think anxiety comes from trying to control everything.
Totally, totally. And I think one of the huge parts of the book that I loved was the can't say the word, relinquishing of control.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
a massive thing, isn't it? And that's with whether your partners, your friendships, whatever. And for me, especially lately with some stuff I've been going through, it's like, you know what? There's so many things I can't control. I really can't. You know, people might think this, they might think that, but ultimately it's out of my control. But what I can do is be authentic in myself and just trust that I'm doing what's right for me, and let people do what they need to do too, and let them process whatever they need to process, and I can still move forward in my authenticity.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's sometimes I think the best question to ask is, can I control this?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you can't,
Of
do
course.
I need to worry about it then? Because if you can't control the like what someone thinks of you, for example, so if someone's got like a bad, like if they look at you and they don't quite get you or trust you, like you can try and change their mind by behaving authentically you and like being yourself. But it's not up to you to change other people's minds, right? I also really loved in the book the thing of her talking about when she first started her business.
Oh yeah, I think I was going to talk about this. I literally think what you just said. Yeah, and it really, because it was the thing about posting on social media. I
Yeah,
was like, what? Because I think I spoke to you about this because even though I'm like, yeah, I'm me, I'm confident, I always show up authenticity, which I do. And for me to talk about my mental wellness journey and my background in that and my spirituality, I was really shied away from it. And I saw you doing what you were doing. I was like, if she's doing this, she can be the beacon to be my light too, you know. And I'm like, hey, these are my tarot cards, these are my crystals, this is another facet to me. And I don't want to hide that because I think it's a huge part of my life and I want to share that with the world. And then as I've been doing that, I've met yourself, I've met so many other people who are, and I say to people all the time, like, how is your soul family or your soul tribe going to find you if you're not authentically being you? Because they can't see you because you're like muted in like grey tones or whatever it is, you know what I mean, like everybody else.
yeah, exactly. Um,
Yeah.
it's very scary, I suppose, to put yourself out there. I liked in the book she talked about, she'd write a caption and then she'd just like draft it. She wouldn't post it.
She
Um,
She's
yeah,
what her friends will think, her family will think, and who does she think she is posting that? And it's not perfect. And I was like, why? And those thoughts do sometimes go through my mind, not so much now because I'm literally doing it all the time. It's part of my everyday job.
yeah.
Me.
I think it's getting the maybe the reps in and just being like, I
Yeah, she's sad.
yeah,
Yes.
I think it's just being like, like if you think of it as like pole, for example, when you first start pole, you know, the
Yeah.
first advert is not going to be very good. Like same with your posts, like on Instagram, like the first post, you might look back at it and cringe. My first podcast episode was, I don't know, I don't listen to it, but you know what I mean? Like the first thing you ever do, you can't be
Yeah.
like, oh, it's going to be perfect. It's the
Yeah.
best thing ever.
So
It's
with the
not. That's not reality, is it?
It's not, I was recording someone last night in the studio, and she's like, "Oh, it's not going to be perfect." I said, "Well, I'm not here to record you. It's not an audition tape, darling. It's just like a bit of my story for Instagram." I always say that. So this is not for Britain's Got Talent. It's just for my Instagram story. And they're like, "Yeah, you're right." So it's not a show reel or anything like that, you know. So you're going to be fine. And then I'm casting back my mind to when I first started posting my pole stuff from going from being a professional business owner in another field and never posting about pole to my first pole. And I was obsessed about it. And then and it wasn't perfect. I went through this stage when I first opened the business and becoming a teacher. I was like, well, this is not perfect. I can't post it. This is not flawless. I'm like, well, setting the bar that high, you know. And then I read something about this is not in the book. This is about imagine your favorite pop star and they've released an album. And some of those songs on that album are going to be the number one hits, and some of them are never going to see the light of day, you know what I mean? And that's what your Instagram's like. Some of them are going to be really amazing and people are going to love it, and some of them are not. And that's okay too. This is all part of your journey of creativity, isn't it? You know? And I think getting out of your head, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't mean the moment. I posted a story yesterday, and like there's so many things that weren't perfect, but I really enjoyed the combo that I was doing. And it looked really cool. I love the energy. I was like, yeah, feeling it, loving it, even though it was not perfect in my eyes, you know. But I posted it anyway because I knew that I really loved the energy of it, you know what I mean?
Well, it's just, do you know Body by Fran?
Yes.
So she posted something once and she was like, yeah, I get that there's a typo in this, but I'm posting it anyways.
Yeah.
And I was
I
like,
just, I
like,
did have like, yeah, fuck it, whatever.
yeah, because she said, I've created this content. like I get that there was a typo in the last post, but I don't want to delete it and do it again because it's already out there. I'm moving on. I think that's how successful people, she runs a very successful pole business. I think that's how successful people roll. They make mistakes, they get up, they
Wow.
learn, and they do better. And then
So,
they get the reps in. They don't just be like, oh, like that wasn't very good.
recently,
And then
before I had my pole business, I ran another business for 10 years. I had my own hair salon. I loved it, fell out of love with it. I think I opened it when I was 21. I was like a kid. You know
stop.
what? I had no idea what I was doing. I just did it, right? And it was really successful, but I made so many mistakes. And when I decided to move from that to pole, right, there was parts of me like, oh God, I've been a massive failure because I'm not living my dream. All my dream was when I was 21. Like I'm 31 now. I'm decided to be different, you know. And then as I've gone on through time, I've realized all those mistakes that I made, I've learned. And in this business, yes, I still make mistakes because I'm human, but there's so many things I learned how to actually run a business, which I never even had an idea of because I've never had a business before. But now when I run my pole studio, with 10 years of the hair business, because there's similar things, I'm working with the public, taking bookings, all those things, right? I was like, wow, I've learned so much and I didn't even realize until I'm doing it again.
Mm,
Yeah, and it's just okay to have a mistake because we're here to learn, and I don't think a mistake is bad because actually it's an opportunity to grow and learn and become better, isn't it?
totally, I agree. Um, and I think there's this thing of a lot of people maybe won't actually be out there doing, but they're
I
very happy to
I have so many
criticize.
podcasts. I want to do a podcast. I want to do talking about it and see them. Have you done it? Oh, not yet. So what are you waiting for? Like your story is amazing. You know what I mean? Just do it. Because when I decided to do my first podcast, I could come back from the gym. Like you know what? I'm just going to press my voice notes up. I'm just going to record what I want to talk about, and I did it. And you know what? It's one of my most listened to episodes. I literally just got my phone, I lay in my bed, three talks about what did I talk? I talked about manifestation. I talked about manifesting my dream house, which I'm living in right now, and how it would came about. And literally, there's no script. There's no. Literally, I was just on my phone, on my bed, with my gym clothes on, sweating, having my protein shake, and I just got it all out. And to this day, it's one of my most listened to podcast episodes.
So I think it just takes guts to do that.
So yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what she was saying in the book, right? That it takes guts to just put yourself out there. And like
People do that.
it's very easy to be like, oh, my friends won't like that. Like the people
But
around me
when
will.
I read, and I don't know if you agree with this, and I hear this from other successful people, like your social media isn't for your friends. Your social media, for me, it's yeah, my friends are on there, that's great. They don't have to like my post because it's not for them really. It's for my people, you know what I mean? And I'm promoting my skills, my services, and sharing my gifts to the world, whether that be my stretching, my pole, my spirituality, my mental. I want to connect to my community because there's like so how many billion people on the planet, you know what I mean? Like they're my people I'm reaching out to. If my auntie who I haven't spoken to for 5 years or 10 years is not gonna like you, then whatever. You know. But however, shout out to my auntie because she always likes my posts. I went to family dinner recently and my auntie, bless her, and she said, oh, I've got you on TikTok. I've been liking your posts because I heard it helps you boost your algorithm, doesn't it? I said, Auntie, thank you so much. She's like an old Indian lady, you know what I mean?
That's so nice.
And she really thought she was like, I'm going to help boost your profile by liking it. And you know what? That's so lovely. Thank you so much.
So what would you say to someone who is like so in their sphere, like they know what they want to do, right? I feel like there's a lot of people out there that want to do a podcast, that want to run a pole studio, that want to do the teacher training for pole, or that want to have like an idea, they want to leave their job, they want to start a new thing. What would you say to them to actually get them to do it?
First of all, right, I would say write down because I hate this thing like, okay, we can only be positive. We have to be this like good deity, good goddess of virtue. Yes, always positivity, right? But let's acknowledge that you're fucking shit scared, right? Or there's loads of negative thoughts, or I like to call them like unhelpful or limiting beliefs. Write them down. What are they? Go, what are they all? Look at that list. Some of those things might never happen. You know what I mean? And if they did happen, there's nothing we can really do about it in that time. That's in the future, and the future is made up. That hasn't happened. It's not even real. You know what I mean? Like it's a made up fantasy you've made up. So basically, what I say to people is that you're lying to yourself because you made up a whole story. So why don't you flip the script? Okay, look at all those negative things. Like I don't know, people are going to hate me. They're going to judge me. They're going to judge you anyway, right? People judge. People judge. Well, we think people are judging us. In the Mel Robbins book, she says, I was like, whoa. The average human has 70,000 thoughts a day, which they can't control most of them, right? So most of them are about themselves. Like we always thinking all about ourselves because our human need to do that. And actually, we can't control other people's thoughts. We can't control our own. You
Yeah.
know. So actually, focus on. Okay, these are things that I think are going to happen. Let's flip it. What are the extreme opposite? People are going to be like, so brave you did that. You've inspired me to do that. I want to help you. Or because I did this, I made shit tons of money, whatever. Not that I want to be broke on my ass or whatever. It's going to be really difficult. But actually, you have no idea, do you? You know. And actually, what might happen might be somewhere in between. I think focus on that, and then and also focus on the why. Why do you want to do that? You know, is it because you love pole or you love you want to speak about something you're really passionate about? And what is it you want to do with that? Is it because you want to reach out to your audience? Do you want more free time? Do you want to be liberated? Do you want to love your career? Whatever it is, you know, focus on what why you want to do that, and show up as that person. And what does that person do? So for me now, just go back to the pole shooter, for example. I was like, hey, well, I need to train more pole actually, so I can give more to my students. I need to lesson plan and look at what's trending, or look at different combos, make it exciting. And I need to be really fit myself, so I need to wake up early in the morning. That's what for me is what a pole instructor is, right? So I start to embody that because when you become that, then you encompass it to everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really long answer, sorry.
It's a limiting beliefs, write down. And then, so it's like a pros and cons list, basically. But limiting beliefs is sort of like,
Pros and cons, those are only what you think of in the moment because you have no idea, right?
yeah, yeah. And then you can reframe them a bit, can't you? So, like, even with things like flexibility, strength, or anything like that, like, I did an exercise yesterday where I wrote down, so my limiting belief at the moment with my flexibility is that my hamstring feels always really tight on my right side. And like, my limiting belief, the actual belief is something like, mm, my hamstring is injured,
Right.
right? But then I switched it up and I said, my hamstring is healing.
Nice.
It's healing gradually and getting better and stronger. And
So, you reminded me actually when I was in hospital, I broke my neck. Massive. Every day I focused on every day my body's healing, every day I'm getting better. I'm surrounded by people who want to help me heal as quickly as possible. And I literally, and I still to this day, people say to me, like, you literally recovered so quickly and you were so positive through the whole journey. Like, you were out in and out of hospital within less than a month. And the people around me were still there, you know what I mean? I said, well, I focused on, what I can control, which is my mood. I can either lie here and be really negative, which is not going to change my outcome, or I can focus on joy, happiness, gratitude. And yes, there were dark days, but actually, the energy was like, okay, I'm getting better every day. I'm working this morning. What I'm grateful for. Let's do this. And literally, I literally skipped out of hospital. It was amazing. You know what I mean? We had my physio to release me. She's like, "Are you able to walk, Mr. Scott Lee?" I said, "Babe, I can do a split on the floor if you like." And we laughed so much because she said, "You're fine. You can go." You know what I mean? And she signed me out, and she was like, "I hope to never see you again." You know what I mean? Because I want you to be really well. And it was a great moment because I literally manifested this like whole health, I envision strength, and I envision like all the things, And I think your mindset is so powerful, isn't it?
so powerful, yeah.
Uh,
I think you can't control, this is basically the whole thing of the book, isn't it? You can't control, you can
yeah,
try and like control outcomes. You can try, you can work really hard, you can plan, but
yeah,
ultimately you can't control what happens. So
yeah,
if you're preparing for an event or a competition or something, you can
yeah,
try and visualize it and manifest like
yeah,
outcome.
yeah.
But sometimes things don't go to plan. And I think you have to really think here, like, how can I make this like a growth experience? Like, what can I, like, how can I make it so that it works for me more? So I'm not like a victim. I'm not like,
Yeah,
so you're
yeah,
empowered and you feel like strong.
yeah. Because speaking about competitions, I had a friend who spoke to recently. It's incredible, and she had a bad experience where the other day the polls went how she wanted them, and they were really slippy and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, did you have your cleaners there? Did you do your things? You no, 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 no." I was like, "Well, there's so many things you could probably do," and she didn't realize at the time, that was in her power. So moving forward, because you obviously want to compete, and you're incredible. I want it to be useful if you could.
But someone calling you.
Yeah. Can you see that or?
No, it just went for a lot of, it's fine.
Oh, yeah. So it could be like, I said to her, well, maybe you can get your own team of people in where you can have clean your own board, bring your own products, and make sure it's prepped for how you need it because obviously you're working so hard all year long for those 4 minutes on stage. There's quite a few things in your power you can actually do, you
Yeah.
know? So yeah.
Yeah. But even then, I don't know if you've had the experience where you're in a pole comp and you have your pole cleaners or someone putting. I once did a pole pumper and I was like, yeah, put a grip on the pole. And then I did like a genie and I had my hands stuck because there was so much grip. So even that is like a bit like you're going to try and prep.
Of course, right?
Yeah, but sometimes things just, go a bit.
Things happen, and that's okay. Like you just learn from it. Like, you know what? I want to go easy on the grip next time.
Learn from it and then also be kind to yourself. That's
Yeah.
the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I so funny thing happened to me actually, and the competition actually the choreo went really well, and I placed on the podium as well. It was a really good experience. But so I had this really cool costume, and it had feathers on it, and I've run it through millions of times on the day. Coming towards the end of my choreography, I'm about to jump into my spin pod, and a gorgeous pirouette and straddle into the air. A feather came off, landed right on my throat. I was like. I mean, my throat was a bit dry because at the end of the competition routine, right? I was like, I want to fucking die on stage. I had to just literally pretend it was in there, carry on, do my broken split, do my spin piece, everything, like do my floor work, try and forget about the feather in my throat, which is restricting my breathing, and finish this piece. Like, I can't die on stage. I've worked so hard for this. So sometimes, no matter how much prep you do, things are gonna happen way out of your control, which is what life is about, which is what the book is about. Like, there's so many things that are out of your control. Like, you have to just let it happen and let you too, right? I wrote down some quotes actually from the book. I don't know if you want to just quickly go over them. Like, there's some of the things I really found poignant. And I think that we all have this within our day to day, right? So I'll just go through them. And one of them was when you let them do whatever it is that they want to do, it creates more control and emotional peace for you and a better relationship with people in your life.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
right. So good. And the other one was stop wasting energy on trying to get other people to meet your expectations. Just let them show you who they truly are. And then you get to choose what you do next.
Mm.
Like, oh my God.
It's interesting, that thing of people showing you with their behavior who they are. Because a lot of the time we get caught up on who we want that person to be. Like we have this vision of who that person could be, but like their behavior is showing us something different.
Yeah, totally.
That's yeah. Uh, there's also this one. If they want to leave, let them. That's so hard to do, but
Like all these things, and it is challenging, isn't it? You know, because you a part of let them was, you know what, and I speak to my therapist about this that when you let them, because I'm speaking to them about the books, it's like let them is incredible and the theory is fantastic, and when you let them, you're still going to feel hurt, sadness, anger, whatever it is, and that's okay too. That doesn't change your decision or the outcome. It still means you're like it means your brain. I think she's saying this in the book. It means your brain's having a normal human reaction to an experience. That's all it is. Like if you didn't feel sadness or grief or loss or whatever it is, and actually your brain's not working as it should be. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
you're,
So you'll feel like I've had a last year. I had a couple of people who left. Let's just say it like that,
yeah,
and I had to just let them leave. Uh,
yeah,
but I had this feeling of, oh, what they're saying about me, or like
yeah.
they're going out and like doing things together, and why aren't I involved? And but then I was like, well, do I want to be around people like that are not supportive and all the things? If they're showing me with their behavior who they are,
Yeah, it's a
I,
challenge, isn't it?
yeah, I can just let them go. And like if they appreciate me as a person, they will come back.
Yeah. And so part of there's a chapter in the book about friendships, and I think there was something to do the three adult things would be like proximity, so people that are in your proximity, the timing of your lives and the energy you put in. So um, but I am a strong believer some people are going to come in and out of your life depending on where you are in your journey, right? And you're going to meet people on your journey who are on the same journey as you. And that's why you become friends, and you put energy into that. And sometimes people's energy are going to be different because you're in different journeys. That's okay too, isn't it? It doesn't make them a bad person. It just means that your energy's not on your alignment anymore. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I think it's just letting things go. That's really hard. I think it's hard for a lot of people. A lot of people want like a clear ending, like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. That doesn't always happen. That's okay because there's so much emotion, isn't there? But then also, I've been saying this a lot lately that there's time to, give it time, you know, give it time because people need that. You know what I mean? Like we're all processing stuff all the time, aren't we? And so just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean they have to feel that way too, and allow them to feel whatever they're feeling. And then at some point, there might be a resolution, there may not. I mean, that's okay too, and just let them and let you. and you get to choose how you respond, not react.
Yeah, I really like the thing of her actively finding friends.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I've been doing that. I do the gym today. I was like, can I just say, I love your hair? And we just like chatting and stuff
Oh,
because you have to be that person, because and it's so nice. There's so many people who just want to talk.
yeah. I think I live in the middle of countryside, so I think for me, I think I actively would have to go drive
Yeah.
somewhere, and I've just like started reaching out to pole teachers and the pole community here, and that's sometimes the easiest way to do it if you're feeling like lonely.
Straight away, you have a common interest, don't you? So,
Yeah, just like think of what you love. So if you love pole, like there's going to be a pole teacher's class going on somewhere. For me, it's an hour, 50 minutes away, which is, like fairly far. But just that one time a week, you know, and things like, do you want to learn something? Is there something you want to learn? Like, I'm trying to improve my Italian. So I go to an Italian class and we drive all the way over there. And then again, that's another person that I've met that's completely new. And I think that's how you do it, right? Is you think of your
like
interest.
really cringy and like uncomfortable, but I was doing tapping and I was like, I'm creating my life. I'm not. I've done so many amazing things. I'm still getting stuff. I'm not even finished yet. There's so many more cringe mountains to climb and so many more obstacles to overcome, and it's going to make me liberated because actually each time I do that cringy thing or the difficult thing or the hard thing, I want to become the person that I'm. Because people are. No one's going to break into your house and be your friend. You know what I mean?
No, that's what I think a lot of people maybe feel a sense of shame around the fact that, with friendship at school, it was so easy. We're in the same class. And as you go up through life, it becomes more difficult. And there's no shame in that. I think it's just
People are so busy, aren't they?
people are so busy and you have to, yeah, make the effort to reach out to people. Um, and
That kind of leads me on to the next point that I wrote down was let them judge, let them gossip, let them be disappointed.
yeah, I like to let them be disappointed.
Because I've had that a lot later, last couple of weeks with situations I've been going through, and people are feeling whatever they want to feel, and they're so allowed to feel that. That doesn't mean your decision is still wrong. You're still allowed to live in alignment to your truth and allow other adults to feel whatever they're feeling, just how you allow yourself to feel, allow others to feel too. That's been a big one. I mean, but challenging and a lot of growth there, and yeah, a lot of learning.
It's hard to let people have their opinions about you.
Yeah, they're allowed.
Misunderstand you. Very difficult thing.
No, yeah.
Thing.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot.
Yeah.
The next one was if you let them, people will reveal who they truly are. And when they reveal who they truly are, you now know what you can choose next, that's right for you. Which I think kind of leads on to the last one, doesn't it, I suppose?
Yeah, yeah. What did you think of what she said about because I laughed out loud when I heard her say that. She said a lot of adults are 8-year-old children.
So true. We're just little children, aren't we? Little kids. We have no idea. Because I speak to my dad quite often, and he is in his 70s. And when it was his birthday last year, my dad looks incredible. He looks bad, right? We have a really good life. A lot of us look young for our age. And I said to him, like, how do you feel now you're like 70 plus? He's like, I still feel, he whispered, he went, I still feel 16. Yeah, because I have no idea what I'm doing, but like the only thing that's different is obviously outside's a bit different, but inside I feel the same. I was like, yeah, we have no idea what the fuck we're doing. Because this really powerful thing that I read, which made me really emotional was, and this is not to disregard like bad behavior at all, and these are really complex relationships. But imagine, which is true, your parents, your mum, your dad, whoever looked after you, it's their first time on the planet. It's like us, it's their first time being a mum, it's their first time being 30, 40, 50, it's the first time waking up today, doing whatever they're doing for the first time, just like us. And we expect so much from them. And actually, they don't know what the fuck they're doing either. And they've learned that from their parents and them who aren't doing the work, who aren't doing the part. You know what I mean? And we are. So, and in the Let Them book was, you know what? You can't change them, but you can show them. And what I've been doing with my parents is like just showing up as this person who's doing the work, who's trying to heal, break ancestral trauma. And my sister and I sat down Saturday night for dinner and we're like, so let's talk about it. Mum's changed. I said, I know. I think because my sister's very much into therapy, self runs, all that stuff. And so I think because we've been doing the work on ourselves and showing up and how we want to, I'll reach out, say, love you, I'll give her a hug. And she would never do that. And we've been doing that with her. And she's like, kind of opened that gate, like, okay, you can hug, we can say, love you, all right, cool. And just little things. And like, my mum's been really, here for me last week, 2 weeks with this transition that I've been going through, which I said I was so shocked to my sister because the person that I thought she was, she's like showing up in a completely different way now. Where she's like, I hear you, feel that, I support you, you need to be happy, and loads of things. And I was like, wow, I can't believe this is the same person. And because we've had so much, trauma growing up as an LGBTQ person of colour, and actually people change, people do change, people can change, you sometimes have to, you can't, I used to try and force therapy on her with my skills, which she used to break down and cry and be like, no, 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 I don't want that, because people aren't ready, you can't do that. But actually what you can, like the book says, is show them, you know what I mean, be that person, show them a different way, right? And it's up to them, you
What I
know.
love is also to celebrate the small stuff that they're doing. So like, if they've gone for a walk, let's say if you have someone in your life that
Yeah.
maybe slightly overweight or something,
Yeah,
if they've done their
my
step,
mum was, yeah.
like just being like, wow, amazing, you did all your steps. That's awesome. Like I know that sounds a bit patronizing when it's when I'm saying it now, but
My mum, an example again, like she is overweight and she's really struggled with the weight over years and stuff. And she's like a very confident person, really out there, really outgoing, very much like myself. And then she struggles with the weight and she's just finished work and retired. And she's like bought a running machine. I literally went round there. We literally threw a pint like she's having like she won the lottery. You know what I mean? And every time she goes on there, I'm like, "You go, girl! You're amazing! You're a bad bitch!" Just hyping them up, right? And just being there, like showing that because people need that, right?
yeah, it's really difficult to change. So I think when someone's taking a step in the right direction, they need this the same if you're an instructor, they need someone to be like, wow, like you've just done a climb, that's so difficult. Like you need the support from someone to keep so you feel motivated.
Totally. And the last one that I wrote was let them take their time, let them rescue us safely, and let them do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Yes. The boys.
Good review.
Chris, good. I'm letting you bark as
Yeah,
well.
I think he felt like that was a good one. Read it again. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I loved that. I loved it. And I think was there anything else you wanted to go over with the book and stuff, or
Say that again. I didn't hear what
was there any other stuff you wanted to go over with the book?
you said. There was the thing when you were talking about your parents. What do you? This is not to do with the book, but what do you think of this idea that we are given our parents for a reason?
Yeah, so I always tell people this, right? And this is what I believe is that because we into my spirituality, reincarnation, and all that. I do birth chart readings when we unpack your ancestral trauma, right? It's all in your chart. It's all there to see. And I tell people all the time that you choose your parents before you get here because you're here to teach you the lessons and to grow. And that's why, because if I didn't have the upbringing that I had, I wouldn't be who I am now, no way. You know what I mean? I had so much contrast. And I came from a loving family, a really loving home. They were Asian, the second generation Asians. And the girl, they were doing the best that they could, right? They went through like, extreme poverty to extreme wealth and, like that for growing up. We moved house, we dealt with like British culture, Asian culture, all the things, right? And I came out when I was 14. Like I'm a very strong person, you know me, right? I say exactly what I think, which is not always the right thing, but I do know what I think, right? As I'm getting older, as I'm like nearly 50, I'm getting better at that, right? But yeah, I believe that we do choose our parents and we do choose our lessons, and this is why we're here, and we're here to collaborate and to learn and to grow. And sometimes growth is painful. Like going for your dreams is painful. Like doing what you going for, like what you want to achieve, and having success is like this discomfort. It's not. I want to do a vision board, and it's going to rock up my house, and everything's going to be rainbows. There are moments like that, but actually, it's really fucking difficult to go after your dreams because you have to step outside of what you know, and what you don't know is like really scary, isn't it?
It's yeah, very scary. And I think you have to always choose between fear and faith.
Yeah, and you're like, you know what? My faith is good. Let's go.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if it doesn't work out how I want it to, I'm going to learn from that and keep going forward, right?
Keep moving forwards. Yeah.
Yeah, keep moving forward because there's going to be plot twists, there's going to be challenges, and how you deal with that is what's going to make you grow. That's going to be the sweet sauce because it's not even about what you get at the end of it. It's about navigating that and who you become on the way, right? And who you become is going to be strong, confident, self-assured, a total bad bitch, and it's going to leave room for excitement, to expansion, to strive for even more, and it's going to empower you in so many ways that you don't even know about yet.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, yes, I love that. I always love talking to you. I have the best conversations.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great. I'm thinking about why I received my parents, what they taught me.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that question, the gifts and the gaps, on Jay Shetty's? So his idea is that your parents give you gifts, and then they also have gaps.
Of course, right, because they're flawed as well, right?
So I was just thinking like the gifts that I got from my dad, for example, he's very, very hardworking.
Uh-huh.
Like he could just like
But
he did our decking here in Italy, and he
uh,
kept in the sun constantly from like
I think you're very much like, okay, we're gonna get this done and hands on. Like you must get that somewhere, right? My
that's,
dad is like the most compassionate, caring person in the world, and he's hilarious.
that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then the gap would be with my dad that he can be a bit harsh, a bit critical, a bit perfectionistic.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so that's something
yeah,
to work on, like feeling enough.
yeah. Because ultimately, it's external validation that we don't need because you have that within you, right?
Yeah, that's one thing last year taught me is like uh, external validation is bullshit, and you need to get it from yourself. Like you have to find that in yourself. It's very, very, very important. It's something that I think I need to still work on, but that's
Well, it never stops. It never stops.
yeah.
So yeah. And then gifts for my mum is like she's outspoken, she's confident, she's rebellious, she's like the loudest person in the room,
Yeah.
And her the gap would be, I guess. Well, mind you, she's getting better at listening now. Is to be quiet and to listen to others and allow for others to speak to. So I think I've got a good mix of both of them, and there's always room to improve, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
if you asked me this question like 20 years ago, I wouldn't be able to answer it.
Time is good, gives you perspective on why things happen.
It's been random actually. Like recently, she went. I was in the kitchen making a cup of tea at her house, right? I don't see her very often, and I don't know what we were talking about. And she said, "Oh, I really want to apologize about what happened when you were growing up. Like, I didn't really know about you know LGBTQness, and especially use my baby. And you still, you're always gonna be my baby. You know what I mean? And I just wish that I was a better parent to you. And in the moment, I was like, decades of like anger and hurt and pain just kind of dissipated. But it's really weird because I thought I really needed to hear it. But it was like, okay, cool. And then it took me a while afterwards to process. But I always thought, yeah, I need to hear that. I need the validation. Because I'd done so much work on myself already, I was like, okay, cool. But then afterwards, like, I was like, waves of like, oh, yeah, no, I did need to hear that. It has healed me. And we are getting closer now because it was something I did need. Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
it's a bit of both, probably. Like it helps if the person apologizes or
Yeah. It
does
just came out
work.
of nowhere, it's come out of nowhere. I guess like, people, change as they get older, right?
Yeah, some people don't know.
They fucking don't.
You have to let them because
They can fucking let them.
because you can't again like it's not your job to change other people. You're not a fixer. It takes too much of your energy. Like fixing other people is just doesn't work. Just let other people be. Focus on yourself, and then all that energy goes into yourself, into your goals, into your dreams. It's working on yourself and like harnessing compassion for yourself and kindness. I think that's where it is, isn't it? That's where.
Yeah. And so, um, shall we announce the next book we're going to talk about next month?
Yeah.
So we decided, I think we decided, right, that we're going to talk about the book is called Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before? It's by Julie Smith, and
Yeah.
it's like she's a doctor actually, Dr. Julie Smith, and it's like a therapy book. broken down into really, really simple bite-sized pieces, which are going to absolutely transform your life. So I have read this before. I can't wait to read it again, actually. It's brought to my attention by somebody else. I was like, oh, yeah, I love that book. Let me ask Charlie what she thinks. And you said you read it too, right? So we're going to reread it together. And I don't know what you want to do, whether we can, like, maybe we can meet up once a week or something on Instagram stories, something we can discuss a couple of chapters, and then move forward, or we can just literally leave it to the end of the month. We can ad hoc it, can't we?
Yeah, I'm just checking I've got that here. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
because nobody told me this before. You can read it along with us and then tag us as well while you're reading it and we can discuss.
yes, that would be the February book, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Totally, 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 yeah.
yeah. I'm sure I've got it somewhere.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you so much.
and I'll see you then. That would be in February. When at end of February, maybe we would
Yeah,
do
I mean, I'm probably going to speak to you in like 5 minutes, but yeah.
it. Shall I pause the recording? Hang on.
Yeah, cool, cool.